Welcome back to Father and Son Time. I'm Gabe.
And I'm Alan.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about Warcraft, the movie.
Yes.
And if you don't know about Warcraft isn't based around World of Warcraft. Warcraft is based around the 3 RTS games that Blizzard put out back in the 90s. Warcraft, Warcraft 2, and then Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne. It seems like Warcraft is pretty much like the first game in the story right now. And overall, it being a video game movie at that, I thought it was a really good movie.
I think this is like the first actual great video game movie that actually came out in a while.
Yes. Though a lot of people want to say that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was the best video game movie.
I wouldn't count that. Does that count as a video game movie? I'm not sure.
Well, they say it's a video game movie because of all the stuff that happens in it.
I think it's more like a way of making fun of video games. I'm not sure.
But Warcraft itself starts off about orcs who go to Azeroth because their home world of Draenor is dying. And they open a portal, leads to Azeroth, but they only can send so many through. So they send their best warriors first. And then you have the humans, because that's mainly what they showed in the movie were humans. Yeah, some parts where they showed 2 dwarves. I wish they would have did more in Ironforge than that.
They only showed like the part where he says, "Oh, I got a new weapon for you," and I think that was the only lines he said.
Well, they showed up later at that meeting where he was trying to get everybody to help them fight the orcs.
Right.
They did show Draenei, but everybody, well, if you don't know, Draenei were the main forces fighting against the orcs on Draenor. That's why it's called Draenor, for Draenei.
Right.
And then you have bits and pieces of other characters. They showed elves. They didn't show the night elves. They looked like sun elves. And what looked like the other human race known as the Gilneans. But pretty much the movie is orcs and humans. And overall, I think it was alright. They could have did better pacing. I think the beginning of the movie was kind of pushed you through the story too quick. But
yeah, because there was like transition after quick transition. I was like, okay, how many transitions are you showing to this movie? Because it feels like I skipped over a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because during the movie, I kind of got a bit confused around the middle because I think this is where we get in the spoilery story of it. Is the part where they revealed that the Guardian, I believe he's technically the guy that he's like the protector of everyone, of the humans. So the plot twist reveals that he's the one who let the orcs in, because in order to have the 2 dimensions align, there has to be one person who opens the portal on one side and the other person who opens the portal on that side.
Yes.
And that's where I got confused, because I wasn't sure who was the bad guy or whether or not he was getting controlled by the orc or what.
I think he was being controlled by, they call it Fel, the Fel. But in the games, they refer to it as Fel magic. I don't know why they just refer to it as Fel and never said magic afterwards.
Right.
But they kept calling it the Fel, and it's kind of like, just say Fel magic, and I think people will get it. It's Fel magic, it's bad magic.
Right.
But he had consumed too much Fel magic.
Uh-huh. And
it started taking, it corrupted him to the point where he didn't know he was corrupted.
True.
But I don't know, it's like the orcs were really well done. They looked like the orcs in the game.
And they
huge, great big muscles, huge weapons.
Yeah.
take out a person in one hit.
Yeah, also what I like is like they do like a live action movie, and normally live action movies try to convince you that this is something that could happen in real life, right?
Yeah.
And they were very convincing because it looks like if I were to go look for an orc, or if an orc existed, that's what it would look like.
Yes, I think those are the best orcs done in any movie. It outshines the Lord of the Rings orcs tremendously.
Oh yeah, very much
And
so.
because the Lord of the Rings orcs weren't menacing. You see these orcs in Warcraft. They're like 8 feet tall, like 400 pounds of muscle, and they come at you with these huge axes and hammers. But
You get screwed.
the movie kind of, I think they kind of missed on Lothar. I think they could have did better with Lothar. Lothar is a paladin. Paladin fights for the light.
Right.
I wish they would have referenced paladins. I wish they would have had Lothar in his gold armor. But they didn't. They put him in that Stormwind blue. Garona, I think she was okay.
Yes, he was like
In the game, she's half orc, half Draenei. In the movie, they made her half orc, half human. They never really explained it, though, in the movie, how she was half human.
That is a good question. And their mother was killed? Well, that is a good question because you said they come from a different land. And in the beginning of the movie, by the way, Draenei, right?
Yeah.
A Draenei dies.
Well, a whole bunch of them died.
Yeah. And there was no humans in that world, I believe so.
I kind of think there was a point, spoilers ahead, there was a point that Medivh starts telling a story. And I think they're trying to say that he was her father. Because he was saying that he traveled to far out lands because he was bored of being protector of the realm. Because it was there was so much peace, he had nothing to do. So he went to places that no one's ever been before. And I think they're trying to infer that he was Garona's father. So I don't know.
And plus, we're not going to find out, by the way, since we're already in the spoiler section. He dies later in the movie, so.
Yeah, he ends up passing away, but in Warcraft lore, he comes back. He does return somehow. I'm sure they can find a way to bring him back. They're mages, so.
Healers.
But they're not healers. They're mages. They know magic,
Right.
and magic can bring people back from the dead.
I believe the ending though, the setting. We should talk about the setting, the place, right? It takes place in
Azeroth.
Azeroth, and the settings look beautiful, by the way. There was the one time when they were in the forest fighting the orcs.
Yeah.
And they got snuffed up and almost died. And then there was the mountains, and man.
Yeah.
This movie it's you know how they say about like Attack on Titan, where you shouldn't be too attached to characters because they always have a chance of dying?
Yeah.
This is what it felt like. It felt like I was watching a movie where everyone has a chance of dying, because I personally thought the son was going to live through this. Like, the main character had a son.
Yeah.
And pretty much his son, he was like a warrior, and he lived through most of the movie until like halfway, where Medivh, he put electro seals, because they were talking to the good orc chief, when he realizes that if the orcs conquer this world, it will just end up like the old world.
Yeah.
And they'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
So he tries to make peace with the humans when he finds out that there was actually an ambush.
Yeah. It was a trap.
For both the orcs and the humans not to work together, and then the humans realize, okay, we can't trust them. So they start running away, and the orcs start to realize that they were fooled themselves, thinking that this was going to be an alone attack too. So, in the middle, Medivh's in there, he puts an electro shield right when there was like 50, like hundreds of them, because they were hiding in the dirt. Which I was wondering, how did he know that all this was going to happen? Like, the leader of the original orcs?
Ogrim Doomhammer.
Yeah.
Durotan's right-hand man betrayed him.
Oh, okay. That's how.
He told he told Gul'dan about the secret meeting, so they knew where to be at. But they kind of redeemed Doomhammer at the end. Because Doomhammer is really important because he's the one that kind of counsels Goel later on in life and gives him the Doomhammer.
Right.
But the humans, they were okay. I think they could have did better with Lothar. King Lane was all right. I think they could have did a better job of
The mage?
not the mage, but they could have got a better actor for the mage, yes. But I think they could have did a better job of portraying how desperate the humans were facing an enemy they knew they could not beat.
By the way, I was thinking for the mage, if they were trying to make comedy with the mage, because I felt like the mage was comedy relief. I felt like John Louisiana should have played them. My personal opinion, he would have been perfect.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, John Leguizamo. He feels like a perfect comedy man for that kind of situation.
I think they could have did with just a better actor. It doesn't have to be a comedian.
Uh-huh.
Because you can do comedy with a good actor. It just depends on how they portray the line.
Yeah, I just feel like he would have fit perfect in that role.
But
That's what I feel.
other than that, the movie overall was actually really fun to watch.
Yeah,
I don't understand the critics' response to it. It's not the greatest movie in the world, no, but it's not the worst movie I've ever seen either.
Not yet. Scooby-Doo takes the cake.
I've seen some pretty bad movies.
Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo,
so
Garfield, bad movies.
overall, I'll give it like
Scooby-Doo.
a 3 out of 5 overall.
I would honestly give this a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I found the movie to be the greatest. I think goodest, best. There you go. The best video game film I've ever seen. Even though
Yes.
I've never played the video game, it was like I personally went in. I pretty much knew how the story was going and what they were going for. Like I said, I got confused around the middle where they revealed that the Guardian was the one who let the orcs in. But overall, it was a pretty easy story to follow.
Yes. I think if they make another movie, I think they can tighten the storyline much better. Because the next movie could be based around Varian Wren and Goel, otherwise known as Thrall.
Right.
And I think the story could be mishmashed a lot better. You concentrate on just 2 guys, Varian and Thrall, not a whole bunch of them like you did in the first Warcraft. The first Warcraft was just laying down everything so everybody can know what's going on, and then the next movie branches off into the most important characters.
I can see that.
But they say they want to do Arthas. I think it's too early to do the Lich King.
The Lich King's like the guy that can bring stuff to effect at the end.
I think you introduce Arthas in the second movie,
And then
have him slowly turning towards being
the
the Lich King.
and then he becomes it. And
Then the next movie you have him being the Lich King and everybody having to fight and defeat him. But other than that, the movie was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
Well, we were gonna do like a little bit of E3 coverage, but we're kind of short on time this week.
Pretty much.
So next weekend we're gonna try to cover as much as we can on what happens on
E3. We got I think
EA right now is doing a press conference. I think Ubisoft is gonna do theirs tomorrow.
and then Bethesda's always also doing theirs today too. Around the time of recording this, that's what they're doing.
I think a lot of them will be doing it before
E3 starts.
E3 starts. And I think E3 starts on Tuesday.
I said Tuesday.
I don't know.
So that means
No, Monday.
Monday. Okay.
I think Monday is when Microsoft and Sony present it. And then Tuesday I think is when Nintendo presents. And then Wednesday is kind of like a day that everything you just see everything at the show.
Right.
So hopefully next weekend we'll have like a short video on everything that we find most interesting. We're not going to go over every bit of news because a lot of the news already has leaked out, and we'll try to go over everything that we found to be the most interesting things of E3.
Right.
Until then, this is another Father and Son Time. I'm Gabe.
And I'm Owen.
I'll see you around. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. That'll help us out at the end. See you later.
See ya.